Welcome to Brave Tarot. If this message found you, there's something important you need to hear in here. Today, Spirit wants you to notice certain traits that are dormant in you. This might be traits that you don't believe you have, traits that you doubt you have, or you doubt the utility of, or maybe you think that there's no place for you to embody these traits in the life that you currently have. I'm specifically being pointed towards leadership as a gateway to activate these dormant traits. Whether this is an example or an actual suggestion from Spirit, the thought experiment is to imagine yourself being thrust into a leadership position. Imagine that you are suddenly in charge of guiding a group of people, and those people automatically trust you. So there's no room for them to doubt your ability. You are just suddenly in the role of leadership. Given this new context where you're being relied upon by people who genuinely believe what you're going to say, what might an opportunity like that bring out in you in terms of positive traits? This isn't a matter of worrying that it would make you anxious. This is about what you currently doubt in yourself and what situations you could start to implement in your life that would allow you to activate these parts of you. I'm being shown that these traits, whether it might be a directness of speech, a sense of confidence, and maybe a discrepancy between who you think you are in your head and who you allow yourself to be as those thoughts come out of your mouth. It seems that a leadership role would help you to close that gap and to be more aligned with who you truly are. There are so many reasons why we shut down these natural tendencies, but what might be active in you is a sense that the other people around you might not be able to handle you, that you're too much, that maybe they are secretly afraid of your capacity and your intelligence, and maybe you've assumed a role of being lesser, less intelligent, less witty, less in control. And likely this is occurring because you're trying to keep the other people safe from something they don't want to see in themselves. But notice how this is just damaging you. What I'm seeing is that it would take a very short amount of time for you to re-engage these traits in a situation where you were either completely anonymous, the way that I am here on this tarot channel, or that you found yourself a new community or space where you could try to be someone new, that is, to be more like yourself. So depending on your circumstance, that could be as small as joining some kind of Toastmasters comes to mind, like a local public speaking group, or even just a hobby group or a sport team or something like that where nobody knows you from your past. Or it could be as big as moving overseas, or giving yourself the opportunity, maybe online, to be clandestine and to experiment with your identity. Because this is the fastest way to fast track the uptake of those traits, because no one is going to push back against them with the tension, because you're holding it in your nervous system. You're holding the anticipation of how people are going to react to you, and that's informing your intuition. So you think it's you, and you think that you're feeling shy, and you think that you're feeling doubt, and maybe you even curse yourself or punish yourself for exhibiting these traits of shyness or self-doubt. But they're not who you are. And that's why it frustrates you, because you know that. You know you have this aspect to yourself that is very certain. In your mind, you know exactly what you want to say. You have strong opinions. And so to be in a space where the people have no prior expectation or concept of who you are, you'll notice that intuition just sliding off you, and suddenly you have space. It's like making a buffer or a zone of protection where you can grow and there's no consequence. And then in that process, you'll notice how natural it feels, and it becomes like a muscle. And maybe once you return back to your original environment, you'll be tested, but it won't be as hard as it is right now to release this truth about you. And as the message increases, it feels like it might not have to have anything to do with confidence and leadership. This could be something like revealing your sexuality or some part of your identity. Something that doesn't feel like it's permitted or like there's space for it, to the point where you might even question whether you even want this or whether you even have this part of you. But this is your reminder and a confirmation that yes, it is there. Maybe it's something like you've adopted the role of the responsible and serious one, and actually you're a funny person, and you feel like your role is undermined in whatever the context is socially that you have now. Or your friends would make fun of you if you were to try something new. So you're being encouraged to take on this shadow period where you can genuinely commit to something new or to something that was already there, and realize how quickly you'll come to trust yourself, and you'll be able to implement these traits in your old environment too. And what usually happens when you do this is that you've done a quantum leap. Your reality has shifted. And when you return to the old environment, the people don't question the changes. They might have to go through their own periods of reconciliation or confrontation with themselves, but you won't be privy to that, not unless you worry about it. So you'll either challenge those people, and that will come from your end. It will be your choice and your strength, or you will naturally be this new version of you, and they won't even question what changed. At least the people who you should keep in your life will realize that they always saw that potential in you anyway, and they'll adapt. Spirit wants you to take this seriously. It feels that this will deeply nourish you. It will give you a sense of purpose and direction in life. And this is something you were designed for. It's almost as though you've grown out of your current role. You've grown out of your current mold. And on some level, you already feel that. And this is just your confirmation to remind you that it's not as daunting as you think. Maybe if you're feeling trapped, the way out of this is actually very simple. It's just finding a way to express where you're not currently known. And that's actually a very specific cue that Spirit doesn't often give. It is a specific suggestion to find at least one place or outlet where you can be yourself in front of or exposed to new people who don't know who you are. And that is really the only guidance today. So I hope you take it on and enjoy the process. It's going to be a quick one. It doesn't take long at all because what's in you, it's already there. You just need the safety to activate it. So good luck. Enjoy. Be brave. And I'll see you in the next reading.